They send a child's toy to my court?
Laughter rippled through the Reshkar court as the tiny human yacht aligned with the docking gantry.
I expected a warship, not a pleasure barge. Does Earth think this is a joke?
The Goodwill's ceremonial ramp lowered with quiet precision. Figures in matte black armor descended, their movements fluid, silent. Ambassador Margaret Cole walked at the front, her diplomatic suit immaculate, her expression serene. Beside her, Security Chief Daniel Park scanned the hall without a word.
And what is this? Tin can pageantry. Your honor guard looks like it crawled out of a scrapyard.
Perhaps they hope to dazzle us with polished rust, Your Eminence.
The court laughed openly, but Ambassador Cole merely inclined her head, as if receiving a compliment. The courtier's laughter grew louder, feeding on the Emperor's contempt. Daniel Park's face remained unreadable, his eyes calculating the distance between every threat in the room.
Enough of this farce. You will kneel before my throne, all of you.
Ambassador Cole lowered herself smoothly to one knee, her composure unbroken. Behind her, Daniel Park remained standing, immobile as carved stone.
Did you not hear my command, human? Get on your knees like your ambassador.
Daniel Park did not move. He did not blink. His silence was louder than any reply.
Your Eminence, he is my security detail. His duty requires him to remain alert.
Alert? To what? My throne room is secure, unless you imply a threat from us.
Park's eyes flicked for a microsecond toward the Imperial Guards, then returned to the Emperor. He offered no explanation.
He defies your command, Your Eminence. Shall I have the guards correct his posture?
The court fell silent. Cole's smile remained fixed, but her eyes were ice. The Emperor leaned back, his forearms folding, his curiosity piqued by this silent defiance.
I will not ask again, human. Kneel, or I will have you knelt.
Park's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. He remained exactly where he stood, as if the Emperor were a minor noise.
Your Eminence, let us not allow a ceremonial gesture to sour our diplomatic opening.
Silence, Ambassador. My command is not ceremonial. It is his obedience I demand.
The Imperial Guard captain stepped forward, energy halberd humming, his bulk casting a shadow over the kneeling ambassador.
Look, the statue trembles with fear. He is so terrified he has forgotten how to bend.
Behind Park, the other 11 human guards remained utterly motionless, but a subtle shift in their weight felt like a predator coiling.
For the last time, on your knees, or I will have the guard break yours.
Your Eminence, you risk an incident. Please let us proceed with the audience.
Daniel Park did not move. The air thickened, the next heartbeat loaded with violence.
Ambassador, you will dismiss your guards. They may wait on the ship.
Your Eminence, my security detail remains with me at all times. It is Earth protocol.
She hides behind their armor. The great Earth ambassador is nothing without her metal shadows.
Mira Kwan's jaw clenched hard enough to crack stone. She'd buried friends under Vreshkar bombardments. The urge to end this was a fire in her chest.
Then we will remove them. Captain, clear these obstructions.
The Imperial Guard captain strode to Park and seized his shoulder with a gauntleted hand, intending to shove him backward. Park did not budge. The captain heaved, his boots skidding. Park remained fixed, as if rooted to the planet's core. A collective gasp escaped the court as the captain stumbled, his own momentum betraying him. The Emperor's 4 hands gripped his throne. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across his features. Behind Park, the 11 other guards stood in perfect formation, their silence a promise. The throne room had never felt colder.
Your armor is as flimsy as your vessel, painted shadows for a ghost of an empire.
A few nervous chuckles echoed, but the laughter no longer came easily. The court sensed the wrongness in the air.
Mira's hand quivered near her sidearm. One quick motion, and the Emperor would never mock another human. Just one.
Park's gaze flicked to her, a micro-gesture, flat palm, barely a twitch, a command written in shared blood. Hold.
And those weapons, toys for a child's parade. My guards would snap them in half with one hand.
Mira's breathing slowed, forced into a rhythm she'd learned in the dark cells of a pre-treaty interrogation. The fire banked, not extinguished. Park returned his attention to the Emperor, his posture unchanged. A statue that had already calculated 15 ways to end this. The Emperor leaned forward, mistaking the silence for submission. He did not see the kill box he had just walked out of. Every human in the room had rehearsed this exact scenario 100 times. This was not a negotiation. It was a held breath. At the edge of the formation, Mira's hand was steady now. The fuse remained unlit, but it was primed.
Perhaps I have misjudged. Your honor can be bought. Kneel, and I will grant each of you wealth beyond your star system.
The air thickened. Not a single human reacted, their faces carved from Arctic ice.
Your Eminence, my detail does not serve for gain. They serve Earth and diplomatic integrity.
The Emperor's smile curdled. He had expected greed, not this cold indifference.
Then you leave me no choice. Kneel now or face consequences you cannot fathom.
Park glanced at Cole, a silent check. Her imperceptible nod was all the answer he needed.
There it was, the mask slipping. Beneath the bluster, she could smell the fear. It was almost time.
The details shifted in unison. Weight settling, hands drifting, muscle memory carved through decades of black ops.
I will not repeat myself. This audience ends with your submission or your disgrace.
The throne room held its breath. The only sound was the hum of energy halberds and the Emperor's ragged breath.
Detain them, all of them. Show these humans what happens to those who defy me.
I cannot allow that. Your Eminence, you are about to make a grave mistake.
Daniel Park gave a single nod, a gesture so slight it might have been a trick of the light. In perfect synchrony, the 12 human guards shifted, weight dropping, hands rising, the soft click of safeties disengaging. A chill crawled up the Emperor's spine. Predators had just shed their camouflage.
The command she'd waited years for. No more kneeling. No more games.
The Imperial Guards hesitated, their training warring with instinct. Something in the human's posture screamed danger louder than any war cry. Park's eyes never left the Emperor. He had already won. The next 90 seconds would merely prove it. The courtiers pressed back against the walls. Even Lord Geroz had gone pale, his mockery forgotten. The first Imperial Guard lunged, and the throne room erupted into controlled chaos. Park intercepted the lunge, one hand trapping the halberd's shaft. The weapon clattered to the floor before the guard realized his grip was broken. Mira flowed past him, a whisper of movement. 2 Imperial Guards crumbled, knees struck, necks pinched, unconscious before they hit the ground. The human detail dissolved into pairs, each a machine of joint locks and pressure points. No shots fired, no blades drawn, just silence and thuds. The remaining Imperial Guards faltered, their advance splintering. They had never faced foes who moved like this.
Summon the reserves, every guard in the spire. Now.
Cole remained at the center, still kneeling, utterly calm as a silver-haired eye in a hurricane.
10 seconds, 6 targets neutralized. She'd missed this.
Park broke another guard's arm with a motion too fast to follow. He was already turning to the next before the body dropped. Distant alarms blared. Heavy boots thundered from side passages. Dozens more Imperial Guards converging. The human formation tightened. They had prepared for this. The 40-second mark passed, and not a drop of blood had been spilled. The reserves met the human line and collapsed without a single cry. Park's silent signals orchestrated the chaos like a maestro. The Imperial Guard captain lunged with a final desperate swing. Park sidestepped, disarmed him, and the captain crumpled from a nerve strike.
The room was a painting of fallen guards. She felt nothing but the cold satisfaction of a completed mission.
78 seconds. The human detail stood among the heaps of Imperial guards. Not a single life taken, not a single scratch on them.
What sorcery is this? You? You could have killed them all? Why didn't you?
Cole rose from her knee, smoothing her diplomatic skirt. Her voice, when it came, was a blade wrapped in silk.
Your Eminence, we are diplomats, not executioners, but this lesson was necessary.
Lord Jerros huddled behind a pillar, his robe soiled. The mockery had curdled into terror. The remaining courtiers were fled or frozen. The vast throne room was a mausoleum of shattered pride. Cole took a single step toward the throne. Park and the detail did not follow. They had already won.
90 seconds. Your Eminence. Not a single one of your guards dead. I hope you appreciate the restraint.
What? What do you want from me?
What I have always wanted. Diplomatic courtesy. You mistook our small ship for weakness, a mistake you will not make again.
She gestured toward the silent formation of black armor. Park stood at the head, helmet under his arm, gaze impaling the Emperor like a fixed bayonet.
These are not ceremonial guards. They are the reason Earth sleeps peacefully at night, and they were recruited from a place you do not want to know.
Is this a threat, Ambassador?
No, Your Eminence. It is a simple truth, one that 3 other empires are about to learn when the court recordings of this audience leak.
The Emperor's 4 hands fell limp. He understood the recording would strip away his power more thoroughly than any execution.
We came here for peace, but Earth will not be mocked again. Remember that.
She let the silence stretch before turning away. The real warning would come next.
One last thing, Your Eminence. The next time you insult Earth's flag, the detail will return, and we will not be polite.
The Emperor's mouth opened, but no sound came. For the first time in his reign, he had no command to give. Cole turned on her heel and walked toward the grand doors. Not a single courtier dared to meet her eyes.
She'd waited years to see a Reshkar Emperor cower. It was better than she'd imagined.
The human formation moved through the fallen guards like a silent shadow, their boots making no sound on the polished stone. Park was the last. He paused for a heartbeat, his gaze sweeping the room, then turned his back on the Empire. The Goodwill's ramp retracted with a soft hiss, sealing the humans inside. Outside, the throne's spire glowed with opulent futility. The Emperor remained on his throne, surrounded by his groaning guards, the weight of what had just happened crushing him. Aboard the Goodwill, Cole stood at a viewport, watching the spire recede. Her expression was unreadable, but her posture was that of someone who had just carved a new lesson into galactic history. The yacht's cyan lights pulsed once as it undocked, a silent message to the galaxy. Diplomacy had teeth now. Inside the Goodwill's compact lounge, the 12-person detail stood at ease, their matte black armor unmarred. The tension had shifted, not gone, but bent toward quiet satisfaction.
You all performed with surgical precision. The Emperor's own court cameras recorded every second of your work. That footage will bolster Earth's leverage for decades.
The operation went as simulated. The Emperor's arrogance made the script predictable.
Indeed. His arrogance wrote the first draft of a lesson the galaxy won't forget.
Mira allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. The Emperor's fear was the first payment on an old debt.
The raw feed is already being routed through our secure channels. Earth will have unedited footage within the hour.
Good. Ensure it leaks from the Reshkar Court's own data nodes. We want the galaxy to believe they exposed themselves.
Park gave a single nod. The mission was not over until the galaxy watched the throne room fall in 90 silent seconds.
Earth's old enemies would learn to fear shadows. She intended to teach that lesson personally.
Cole settled into her chair and sipped a cup of tea. The Goodwill slipped into FTL, carrying the blueprint for a new kind of diplomacy. Within hours, the Vreshkar court recordings flooded every galactic network. The images spread like a silent shockwave. Across the galaxy, council chambers fell silent. 3 empires urgently requested treaty renegotiations with Earth. Diplomats who had mocked humanity were now pale, recalculating the balance of power in fear. The phrase diplomatic courtesy took on a chilling new meaning. Arrogant species nervously reassessed their own guards. Deep in the Vreshkar spire, the Emperor stood in a private chamber, smashing relics with his forearms.
They will pay. Every insect. My empire will not be humiliated by a pleasure barge.
His rage was futile. The footage had escaped his control. A ghost that would haunt his reign. As Earth's diplomats received renegotiation requests, the Vreshkar Empire began hemorrhaging vassal systems. The galaxy learned Earth's diplomacy was not built on warships, but on quiet, lethal competence. The Goodwill's cyan lights became a silent warning. Earth did not need to threaten to be feared. Aboard the Goodwill, Cole let her tea cool and opened the communications console. A blank message template glowed.
To Emperor Volkesar Vren, thank you for a productive visit. Your throne room's acoustics are excellent. Please extend my gratitude to your guards. They provided invaluable practical demonstration. I look forward to future diplomatic engagements, perhaps under more reciprocal terms.
Her fingers paused above the key. A final sentence crystallized.
Enclosed is a copy of the court recording for your archives. Earth treasures transparency.
She pressed send. The message leaped across subspace, a velvet dagger aimed at a wounded throne.
Nicely worded. The Emperor will need a new throne after reading that.
Cole smiled thinly and picked up her tea. Outside the viewport, the stars compressed into the brilliant tunnel of FTL. The Goodwill vanished from Vreshkar space, leaving behind only silence and the promise of a return. Cole stood alone on the observation deck, hands clasped behind her back, watching the FTL light show cascade past the viewport. Park entered quietly, his reflection joining hers in the polished glass. He stopped beside her, shoulder to shoulder. They remained silent, the kind of silence earned by those who have trusted each other with their lives and emerged victorious.
He'll never sit comfortably on that throne again. Every creak will sound like our boots returning.
Let him squirm. It's a lesson even his ego can't unlearn.
I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Then, I remember the tin can pageantry remark.
Park's expression didn't change, but the air between them lightened. Two warriors acknowledging a clean victory. Outside, the yacht's cyan lights pulsed in a steady rhythm, a lighthouse marking the edge of a new era for Earth. Ahead, Earth's sun was a distant spark on the sensor plots, a home that now understood the power of a polite warning. The Goodwill carried that warning with every flicker of its lights. Diplomacy would never be mistaken for weakness again. A trembling Vreshkar scribe activated the holographic message on the Emperor's private console. The seal of Ambassador Cole materialized like a taunt to Emperor Volkesar Vren. Thank you for a productive visit. Your throne room's acoustics are excellent. The Emperor's forehands clenched the arms of his recovery chair until the gilding cracked. Please extend my gratitude to your guards. They provided invaluable practical demonstration.
She mocks me. Every word is a poison arrow meant to fester in my throne.
The scribe flinched, continuing to read with a quivering voice as the message scrolled. I look forward to future diplomatic engagements, perhaps under more reciprocal terms. Enclosed is a copy of the court recording for your archives. Earth treasures transparency. Looking forward to our next meeting. The note ended with a polite smile and a dagger hidden in every word. The Emperor's scream was swallowed by the empty chamber. In the grand halls of a dozen species, the throne room footage played on endless loops. Counselors leaned forward, their dismissive sneers frozen into masks of disbelief. A four-eyed ambassador from the Kelvar Dominion rewatched. The moment Park disarmed the captain, his claws tracing nervous patterns on the table. On a bustling trade station, merchants paused their haggling to watch the public screens. The name Earth was whispered with a new, careful reverence. A young Earth diplomat previously ignored, now found himself offered the finest seat in the negotiation chamber. His hosts tripping over offers of refreshment. The Vreshkar Emperor's private humiliation became a public lesson. Across the galaxy, leaders rewatched the 90-second takedown and recalculated their militaries. A senior military advisor from the Tarkath hegemony watched Mira Kwan's fluid strikes and murmured to his aide, "We need new training protocols." The phrase diplomatic courtesy became the most feared combination of words in the known systems. Earth's embassy request queue overflowed. For the first time, humanity was being invited to tables it had once been denied. And in the quiet of an observation deck aboard the Goodwill, Cole's faint smile was reflected in the glass. The galaxy had learned a new rule. Mock Earth's flag, and its shadows will teach you better manners. Mira sat alone in the armory, her rifle dismantled across her lap. The ritual was a meditation.
For years, she'd carried the war like a shard of metal under her skin. Today, it had finally been pulled free.
The faces of her fallen comrades usually tormented her in silence. Now, they felt like quiet witnesses.
Winning didn't resurrect them, but the Emperor's fear was a kind of eulogy.
She had never believed in closure, only in carrying the weight. But tonight, the weight was lighter.
For the first time since the treaty, she felt clean.
She reassembled the rifle, each click a metronome of newfound calm.
The old handlers said Black Ops never leave you, but maybe you can turn them towards something better.
A smile crossed her lips, not the cold one of battle, but something fragile and human. The ship hummed around her, and for the first time in years, Mira closed her eyes without seeing enemy lines. The Goodwill cruised through the nothing, its hull a dark mirror reflecting distant stars. At the bow, the Earth seal glowed with quiet authority. The gold trim caught the light of 1 billion suns, etching the emblem into the fabric of the moment.
Next time, we won't be polite.
The words hung in the void like a guillotine blade, waiting. The image froze, the seal locked into place, a brand on the history of interstellar diplomacy.
We won't be polite.
A warning disguised as a promise Earth intended to keep. The galaxy had seen the polite mask slip, and it would never look at humanity the same way again. Diplomacy now wore a shadow, and that shadow answered to Earth. The Goodwill sailed on, its mission complete, its lesson carved in the memory of 100 worlds. The credits rolled over the serene image of the Goodwill, its cyan lights a steady pulse against the nebulous glow. Names of the crew, the diplomats, the silent guards who never sought fame, scrolled into the dark. Earth would remember this mission, not as a battle, but as a lesson in quiet, unyielding strength. The galaxy had seen what diplomacy looked like with teeth, and it had nothing to retort. Margaret Cole's thank you note had been the final stitch in a new fabric of interstellar respect. Daniel Park and his team never needed parades. The footage was their silent ovation. Mira's peace, earned at last, was the personal victory beneath the political one. The Goodwill carried more than diplomats. It carried a warning wrapped in velvet and a promise sheathed in steel. The stars watched, and they whispered among themselves. Earth was no longer a world to provoke. As the final credit faded, the yacht's lights remained, a symbol, a sentinel, a future waiting. The end. A dark screen flickered to life in a Vreshkar intelligence vault. The emblem of the Imperial Secretariat glowed crimson. Analysis. Human diplomatic security detail. Goodwill incident. Subject: Daniel Park. The file was a mosaic of black bars, entire sections obliterated under the weight of classified directives. Previous assignment. 4th. Pre-treaty Black Ops. Status: disbanded by treaty. The camera panned to the next file. Subject: Mira Kwan. Her record was even more heavily redacted. Confirmed operations: redacted. Combat hours: redacted. Survivable wounds: redacted. Collective detail assessment: Combat efficiency exceeds all known Imperial Guard contingents combined. A final block of text, unscrolled at the bottom of the report, unredacted. The screen tinted blood red. Clearance, maximum. Threat level, do not engage. The screen snapped to black. The Vreshkar intelligence vault returned to silence, but the warning echoed in the dark. The black void dissolved, replaced by the blue and white marble of Earth. The Goodwill emerged from FTL, its hull catching the first light of home, a tiny speck against the vastness. It carried the weight of a new era. The Earth seal on its bow gleamed with quiet pride. Orbital traffic parted. Civilian ships, freighters, even a battle cruiser shifted course to make way for the diplomatic yacht. Word had traveled ahead, cyan lights pulsing in a slow, dignified rhythm. It was not a warship, but it had won a war of perception. On the surface, diplomats from a dozen worlds had begun drafting new agreements. The phrase diplomatic courtesy was now universal shorthand for do not test Earth. The camera pulled back, the yacht shrinking to a point of light against the planet's curve. The stars wheeled slowly. A title card faded in. White text on the velvet black of space. Diplomacy is the art of being polite until you can't be. The words hung for a moment, then faded, leaving only the distant glint of the goodwill and the silent majesty of Earth. The screen dimmed to black. The story was over, but its echo would resonate for generations.